Graduates, you look great. Got all dolled up. Just need some serious high heels up here. Hair's done, you look fabulous. You know, I was just looking at some graduation pictures of myself. Generally what I say is, I looked great. I'm sure you will too, I wouldn't worry about it. Actually, I forgot something. Graduates, you need earmuffs just for a sec. We've got them surrounded. So the go word will be pumpernickel. Throwing. All right. I'd like to talk to Health and Human Services. I was just threatened by an administrator. No, I'm serious. So I know that it's unusual for a band director to be selected to do this, and it really is a great honor for me. I have 62 seniors this year, and that's not all of them. I view that as a personal failure. Somewhere I missed you, and I'm working on it so that I can have all the seniors in a class. I'm not sure how the high school schedule is going to work once we're able to do that, but some of you will get a period off, which would be exciting. I think more of you know me than you think. You haven't been in class, you're just used to seeing me like this. Bald spot gives it away. I don't have to look at it. All right, I'm really excited actually to be here and to speak with the seniors who aren't in band, because I have an opportunity to give some advice to some fresh listeners. I've been doling out advice for years and years and years to the band seniors with less than stellar results. I advised Doug McClellan not to turn the back of his pickup truck into a swimming pool on the first day of band camp. He didn't listen to that. Now, I'm serious, and Lord knows I advised Will Medlock not to grow that gross mustache. And I certainly, although he may have forgotten, I doubt it, certainly advised David Rodokas that if at halftime, when the high school band comes to attention in the MI, you find yourself 45 yards away from your spot, don't turn and run in slow motion as the crowd watches in horror. Anyway, I'm going to try again tonight with some advice here and see how it works. But I thought I'd start with a story. I have a 9-year-old son named Duncan. I think he might even be here tonight. I'm excited about that. He's probably excited about to hear this story. And he's a great kid. But when he was 4, he was really exploring a lot of ways to not make it to 5. And my brother had just bought a boat, and Duncan and I were out on the water where his uncle had to repeatedly ask him, he was in his life jacket, repeatedly ask him to sit down because he was flirting with swimming and didn't know how. He had to be asked multiple times, but eventually he complied. We were back on the beach, and we were about to go out again after lunch. And so I called Duncan over, being dad of the year over here, and I grabbed his shoulders, and I looked him in the eyes, and I said to little 4-year-old Duncan, D, if you can't listen to your Uncle Ryan, when he asks you to sit down on the boat, then you can't go back out on the boat. And Duncan stepped, he wrestled his way out of my hands, and he stepped back from me, and he looked me in the eyes. This moment of clarity washed over his body, and he said, if you were dead, I could do whatever I wanted.
That sounds like it.
My brother, sitting on a chair nearby, leans over and says, vice versa. Now, at age 4, Duncan hadn't yet learned Latin. Bellevue School District. So I think we're okay on the vice versa thing. But I think Duncan and my brother both hit on an important irony playing out as you graduate tonight. You see, Duncan had realized that every time someone told him he couldn't do something, that someone was me. He was convinced that if he could remove this simple obstacle, his entire life would be made up of boat rides and Bakugans. What he didn't realize, of course, got a Bakugan fan back there. What he didn't realize, of course, was that every obstacle I was placing in his way was designed to keep him alive long enough to realize that boats are an enormous waste of money, and nobody knows how to play Bakugan. So class of 2013, you guys are super smart. I have often said I have no business standing in front of you. I know that there are times when I'm conducting and I look back at Isaac Groshoff staring at me, and it looks like he's seeing the Matrix. So I know, like if you took a class from Mr. Juba, I'm sure you've already made a connection between my oppressive request that Duncan not drown and your parents' restrictions on your behavior during high school. I'm sure that Mr. Twombly's class has prepared you to analogize the life jacket as a symbol of your parents' restrictions and the boat as a symbol of the opportunities your parents have provided you. And surely if you took a class from Mr. Randolph, you've made the connection between Duncan's imagined liberation from his tyrannical parents and your actual fast approaching liberation from your parents. Indeed, what sweet 4-year-old Duncan hoped to accomplish via patricide, you are months away from accomplishing via matriculation. I can understand why this would be exciting for you. Freedom, late nights, choice, sleep. You can listen to your own music, you can eat what you want, hang out with who you want, where you want, no more sharing your home with a grumpy, bossy authoritarian who thinks they know it all. It's probably exciting for you graduates, too. So I'm joking a little bit, but a lot. But in all seriousness, your parents have been waiting a long time for tonight. Long time. Every Friday in my class now for about 10 years, I've shouted after my students as they scramble out of the class a very simple sounding request. I shout, "Don't lie to your parents, they love you." There you go. This comment is usually met by one of 3 responses. There's the friendly eye roll and reciprocal request that I not lie to my parents. These are the kids who, regardless of their intent to lie or not, probably don't have much to lie about. The second response is the nervous giggle. These are the kids who definitely have something going on that they're not proud of, but are reasonably sure that I don't know what it is, and neither do their parents. There were some serious nervous giggles on Friday. Finally, there is the small number of kids whose actions quietly betray a deeper conflict. They are genuinely confused as to why I would bring up something so sensitive, so serious, in a setting that's supposed to be celebratory. Most folks might say, "Have a great weekend," or "See you Monday." Behind their silence is usually sitting the question, "What does he know?" I feel safe letting you know now that the answer to that is a resounding not much. But the answer to the first question, "Why do I say it?" is hopefully a bit more substantive. In my "Don't Lie to Your Parents" request, I am, futile as it may be, trying to act as the thumb on the scale to tip your mind toward giving the people around you who love you and who are working on your behalf the benefit of the doubt. Now I know where you think I'm going with this, that I'm going to ask you to thank your parents for everything they've done to help you, and I am, but I'm going to beat this issue up. I'm going to talk about it a lot, because I think proportionately it is almost ignored at an event like this. You see, there is no one else on earth who is more invested in your future or who loves you more than your parents. There's no one who's lived the past 18 years of their lives with the sole purpose of ensuring your future happiness. There is no one else who has filtered every decision they've made regarding their own future through its impact on yours. It is your parents who look at each of the stupid decisions you've made